Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome into your daily read. This is going to be for Monday, December 19th, 2022. I do want to remind you, as always, this is general for the day for all 12 signs. So just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. I do want to apologize if you hear any background noise, cars going by, stuff of that nature. It was getting a bit stuffy, so I felt the need to crack the window open, okay? But let's pull from the Prism Oracle and see what we get to begin. Balance. All right, so there's a focus on you needing to implement more balance throughout this day for one reason or another. I do feel like based upon the first couple attempts to get this reading accomplished, it's going to be a bit of a busy Monday and you need to balance oneself out. Efforts towards meditating, towards, just doing things gradually throughout the day and not rushing, that's going to be quite beneficial, okay? But I also just feel like you need to take a deep breath and cleanse your energy if need be. When you feel a little bit on edge, a little bit nervous, I do feel like you could find oneself wrapped up in more than one location throughout this day. However, that ends up working for you. And it's going to be very evident as to how each situation affects you differently, okay? Not just energy, but just your mood and in more than one way. All right, you'll see as the day unravels. And it may just be more of a reminder of what you have been dealing with, why you want to change for some, but mystery. Interesting, this doesn't come out too often. I do feel as if it's a day where you're exuding a level of mystery. Somebody's wondering what you're up to, why you're just coming and going, or why you've been missing for a bit, or just what's rolling around in your individual mind, right? They're saying heart and soul to finish that up. But I do feel like your connection to the moon and the sun takes a relevance throughout this day. But this circle also speaks upon completion, okay? In whatever regard it, and however it pertains to you, rather, completion is coming to mind. It could be past and or present day completion, or one that you do expect in the upcoming days, weeks, months, however far away it is for you. But I feel like something's growing. I feel like you're growing, okay? Your individual soul growth is taking a focus. And I just heard the word blossoming, okay? Blossoming. If you do have the chance to wrap oneself up with nature and sunlight throughout this day, that will benefit you greatly. But I do sense that you're just nose to the grind, right? Migrating around, bouncing around from situation to situation or task to task or both. And it just feels like you need to do your best to, again, find that balance in it all. But then colors green and purple, the spiritual meaning of both come into play, okay? Green and purple. Beautiful beginning. Let's shift on forward towards the tarot portion of the reading from the Mystic Mondays. What else do we have for Monday? For Monday, that was a lot. The King of Wands, the Five of Wands, the Three of Swords. It just feels like a chaotic situation is such a disappointment, or it could be in regards to one specific person or a couple people at most who you expect the worst with. And I feel like you are quite on point, valid in your expectation with them in a negative sense, with them proving you right over time, right, or even just throughout this day. But Spirit's saying this cannot take a focus, okay? And if it does, you need to realign one's focus towards the productivity of this day, what needs to get done, the abundance, right? You can't allow for oneself to stay focused on who is toxic, I want to say, right? Or the situation that's toxic, or both. And just keeping busy. Normally, I wouldn't recommend it as an escape or distraction from what's not healthy at this time, and probably will still be moving forward. But Spirit's saying this is a day where you have a lot to get done either way, right? So steer clear of the BS, steer clear of the toxicity, and do what you gotta do, period, okay? And you'll feel quite gratified and satisfied by the end of this day when you look back and think, well, damn, I accomplished a lot, right? I don't know about you, but those are some of my favorite days when, especially days off from, a day-to-day job or something of the sort, even if you're working per se, when you run around, you get a bunch of stuff done, right? Even if it's not everything you need to get done. And then you catch your breath at the end, you implement a bit of self-care and you're like, well, that felt pretty damn good, excuse me. But anyways, the King of Swords coming out as well, because I do feel like it's a day where you're being viewed as very wise, knowledgeable. I'm hearing the word conquering. And so, yeah, it's that very chariot sort of motivated vibe about each of us where we're moving forth. They're saying more so the Knight of Swords, where it's whoever and whatever wants to try and get in our way. You may just give up on trying because it just feels like you will get done what you need to either way. Now, these feeling very much coinciding together for one, if not multiple reasons for you individually, where you're being viewed as mysterious but knowledgeable, talented but peculiar. Okay, interesting. I feel like people don't fully get how you do what you do, or even what you're looking to invest in or move towards, or what you're up to throughout this day, but they don't need to. Okay, in order to enjoy your work or just to still be connected to you. Okay, let people wander in their mind. Let people think. Okay. I just heard let people wander away. Interesting. The Two of Wands. So naturally, as we're doing a lot, there's going to be a thought or two throughout this day, if not multiple, in regards to what you do lack. Spirit saying it feels like your path individually being drawn to this reading has been a bit up and down. Feeling like at times twists and turns, unexpected changes, feeling like a bit of a roller coaster, right? And they're saying that you're about to cross a finish line in the upcoming weeks as far as a big change, as far as a landmark for oneself. It could be both, more than one finish line that you're crossing, or that finish line is symbolizing involving more than one accomplishment for oneself. Okay, so just remember that as you can't help but think about at times what's not perfect, what you lack, stuff of that nature. Okay, but it just feels like you're also going to remember past stressful times, and this will remind you why a change is necessary. This will remind you why you desire a change in the future, okay? Or why you're about to cross that finish line. Interesting. But I also just feel like somebody around you, at least at one point, if not multiple points throughout the day, is very stressed. And then there could also be another person who's a bit emotional, right? And you could find that there's two people in a situation where one's really stressed, one's really emotional, and that stressed person actually does have emotions that they're disguising as anger or frustration in one way, shape, or form. Oh, I know who that is for me. But anyways, the Seven of Wands and the King of Wands, because I do feel like a lot's coming towards you. Praise, compliments, one or two negative comments potentially, whether it's somebody you know or it could be a random person online for your business. Discard it. Discard it in your mind, discard it in your focus, and let oneself recognize the positives outweigh the negatives, okay? But it just feels like a lot's flowing towards you to as well remind you your hard work is paying off, right? You are finding oneself again in this very passionate, conquering mood where I feel like you're being pushed to think about your body image as well, for whatever reason, as I'm being drawn to his muscles here. But it's this sort of bold, mature, determined way about you that will assist in you getting done what you need to and will make your work or just whatever you accomplish that much more impressive, okay, and just more on point. And I feel like they're showing me this, the hair in the wind here. It's just this feeling that you're running around, right? Even if you're moving at a slow and comfortable pace for oneself, it depends on you individually. It just feels like that's representing you just being on the go, right? Got to do what I got to do, all right? But the moments when you sit down or you find oneself being quite still for whatever reason or reasons, that feels good, okay? It feels refreshing, and it's giving you at least a little bit of balance in the midst of all you're doing, okay? Productive or not, you need to rest is what I'm hearing. What else do we have for this day? We have the Emperor. Yeah, creating, developing, planning, preparing. It just feels like you will get done everything you decide to, but when Spirit's telling you, bear it with me. What can be pushed off? What does not need to get accomplished throughout this day? Okay, because it feels like just like your eyes can be bigger than your stomach, it's like you want to accomplish more throughout this day than you actually physically or realistically can. That was an interesting comparison. So you might actually find oneself with that kind of situation where you decide to eat more, you want to eat more than you really should be or could in the moment. That came up for a reason. The Ten of Wands, yeah, a heavy workload, a lot on your plate, a lot to accomplish in the upcoming days, weeks, for some even further out months. But I just feel like you need to be realistic with oneself once again, okay? But they're saying through this heavy workload, through all that you have to prepare and accomplish, and again, however it works for you, you're growing, okay? And you're seeing other levels of growth through it all. But reground oneself when need be. Ooh, that was a bit feisty. Yeah, so Spirit's saying, think about how you once were trapped in a situation. There's something to realize, interesting, or to remember for you individually, okay? But I do feel like there's a level of you presenting your work and gaining rewards in regards to that, or you're presenting something of value to you and potentially value to others, and that's giving you rewards all the meanwhile, okay? But be one with your peaceful nature as you get done what you need to throughout this day. Because again, this is a very productive, very accomplishing kind of conquering Monday, but it doesn't need to feel overwhelming, and you don't need to focus on what's inevitably stressful or just emotionally heavy in certain ways, all right? Get done what you need to, and then implement self-care, as I always say on this channel, all right? So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy your productive Monday, and I'll definitely see you next time.